Welcome to this Tybootha presentation, where we will dive into the life and work of America's citizen to become a saint, Mother Cabrini. And, well, what a legacy.
It really is something.
The information we're exploring today comes from material prepared by James Michael, and it's soon to be published by Tybootha.
Right.
And you can find more about his work, all his publications, really, at https://www.amazon.com, author James Michael.
Good to know.
So today we're diving into the story of Frances Xavier Cabrini, the first American citizen to actually achieve sainthood.
That's right. And her impact.
Yeah.
Well, it's just incredible, especially through all the institutions she founded.
Exactly.
What's fascinating, I think, is that Mother Cabrini's lasting contribution isn't really in written texts. It's in the tangible things. Schools, hospitals, orphanages.
Really practical stuff.
Absolutely. She was born in Italy, Ria Francesca Cabrini, back in 1850, youngest of 13 kids.
Wow,
Yeah. And apparently, her early piety really fueled this deep desire she had to become a missionary. But, well, her path wasn't exactly straightforward.
right. I read she faced setbacks pretty early on. Because she was frail, her health wasn't great.
That's it. Existing religious orders wouldn't accept her because of her health.
Hmm.
But this apparent obstacle, became the catalyst for something, well, quite remarkable.
Well, she didn't give up.
Not at all. In 1880, she just went ahead and established the Missionary Sisters of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, the MSC.
Okay. And their mission?
Their mission was clear: education and care of the poor, with a particular focus on girls, actually, all driven by their faith, spreading Christ's love through service.
Makes sense. But initially, she wasn't aiming for America, was she?
No, she first envisioned serving in China. That was her goal.
But the Vatican, Pope Leo III specifically, had a different idea.
Exactly. He asked her to look west toward the United States. This was in 1889.
And you have to think about the context then, right? This huge wave of Italian immigrants coming to America.
Facing immense hardship, poverty, discrimination, feeling totally alienated.
Yeah. So the Pope saw the need there.
Precisely. And this pivot, it really highlights something crucial, I think. Recognizing where the greatest need actually lies.
So she arrives in New York City with just a few sisters.
A handful of sisters, yeah. No guaranteed housing, no real support structure waiting for them, and crucially, very limited English skills.
The challenges must have seemed, well, immense.
You'd think so.
Yeah.
Yet, what she went on to build from that point is just astounding.
Absolutely. Over her lifetime, she established, what was it, over 67 institutions.
That's the number, 67. Across the U.S., Central, and South America, even back in Europe.
It really makes you wonder about her sheer force of will. And, her organizational skills must have been incredible.
Oh, undoubtedly. And if you look at where these places popped up, major U.S. cities like New York, Chicago, New Orleans, Seattle, Denver.
Places with large immigrant populations.
Exactly. It was a strategic response to where people were settling and what they needed most. These weren't just like small charitable gestures. They were about providing essential services, fostering dignity.
Yeah, concrete help. From orphanages and schools to actual hospitals like Columbus Hospital in New York.
And Cabrini Hospital in Chicago, addressing critical needs, especially health care, for immigrants who often couldn't get it elsewhere.
These institutions became sort of beacons of hope, didn't they?
They really did. And they represented something significant, too. You had the compassion of the Catholic Church in action, sure, but also a recognition of the inherent worth of these immigrants.
And female leadership, too.
Yes, a powerful example of female leadership and agency within what was, and often still is, a very hierarchical structure.
She sounds like a true leader, constantly traveling, fundraising, managing these grown operations.
Collaborating with church leaders, civic leaders, all while battling her own frail health. It's quite something.
Where did that energy come from?
Well, by all accounts, her deep devotion to the Sacred Heart of Jesus was the engine. That was the driving force behind that relentless work ethic.
Yeah.
Her faith wasn't passive, it was a direct call to action.
And that impact, it was eventually recognized at the very highest level.
Absolutely. Canonized in 1946 by Pope Pius XII, and then in 1950 declared the patroness of immigrants.
So, thinking about it now, what does her legacy tell us today? It feels very relevant.
It really does. Her life continues to resonate, doesn't it? Especially with ongoing discussions about immigration, the evolving roles of women in faith communities, and that crucial intersection of faith and social action.
Yeah.
Her greatness isn't really found in complex theology, but in the actual lives she touched. The buildings she built, the people she educated and healed, the spirit she uplifted, that tangible impact.
It's such a powerful reminder that faith, when it's coupled with decisive action, really can create profound change in the world. Her story kind of challenges us, doesn't it? Challenges you listening, perhaps, to consider how we translate our own convictions into meaningful service.
Precisely. It invites that reflection. How can our beliefs manifest in tangible ways that genuinely uplift and support those around us, particularly the most vulnerable in society? Her life is that message. Christ's love transcends borders, and faith combined with action, well, it can change the world.
Be sure to subscribe to Tybootha to get more videos like this to awaken the heart in light and love.